Moonton's last and final stand in front of League of Legends Wild Rift, and how is Project Next changing the meta? Let's dive in. Yo guys, how's everyone doing? Welcome back to another Dave Talk. This is your guy, Assassin Dave. Project Next is finally coming to a close. I think we're going to have Project Next in normal server on September 22nd, which is 2 days away from now. And guys, to be honest, I cannot wait for the Project Next to come out. I cannot wait to pump more contents for you guys to share my thoughts and my ideas, my experiences in Project Next. Now, this might be Moonton's last stand against League of Legends Wild Rift. Last time when Arena Valor came out, their marketing strategy was really horrible. But this time, League of Legends Wild Rift is changing the game. They're making their game so much better than any other available games on the market. If you've seen the closed beta test so far, played by a lot of streamers, I think Shimen was playing it, a lot of pro players like Tuturu for NPL was playing it. Oh my goodness. The only expression that I have is man, oh man, this game looks fabulous. It's kind of like the feeling I have when the iPhone first came out. That phone was just revolutionary. It changed the whole market. Nobody thought Apple had a chance in the phone market. Like, what is this company doing, changing company to the phone market? Is it too late? That's kind of feeling I had, right? Regarding how League of Legends is approaching their game, approaching Wild Rift, right? They're coming out of the game late. They're laying out some really interesting strategies on how they want to approach the game release, like the alpha, very small regional test, and then beta test only includes SEA regions. But when you look at the game, ladies and gentlemen, there's so much elements that other games are just straight up copying. You see all those elements that Project Next are implementing, they look extremely similar to League of Legends Wild Rift. Now, I'm not going to say that Moonton just straight up copied from Wild Rift, but they do look extremely similar if you have seen the League of Legends Wild Rift games. And I've seen a lot of entry-level players playing League of Legends Wild Rift, and it seems like they're having fun with it. They're not really having a lot of problem adapting to a lot of buttons clicking on the screen because Riot does such a good job of utilizing all the screen real estate. From what I saw in the recent past few days, talking about the closed beta, they make the screen look perfectly organized. It's clean. It's not crowded, and they still have so much buttons, so the skill cap is still there. It's still really difficult if you're coming just from a Mobile Legend background, but at the same time, you will not have problem adapting. It seems like the game is just very easy to play, really easy to get used to. You just have to take a leap of faith. But at the same time, Mobile Legends at this hour is laying out Project Next. From the past few months now, we've seen like videos by videos talking about hero revamp, and we never seen those heroes coming out until now. It seems like they want all of those heroes, all of this content to be released in a batch, and it's coming out finally in a few days. First, I'm going to share some interesting update changes in the recent patch in the advanced server that's going to roll out in the Project Next altogether on September 22nd. And then I'm going to share some speculations of what I think the meta is going to be after Project Next come out. Without further ado, let's get into the highlights of the recent patch notes. The first thing that I want to mention is Moonton is forcing a lot of marksmen to be meta, the old classic marksmen that I used to like. For example, Clint and Mia. Let's start with Clint, right? We all know that Clint has received a revamp. I featured it in my last video. But then on top of it, they have given the Clint a huge damage boost in early game. The passive physical attack bonus of enhanced basic attack increased from 120% to 140%. Means every time you use your attack, if you have items, late game scaling of Clint is going to be a lot scarier. His entire output, his entire damage kit are hugely boosted because of the 20%. Imagine critting, right, with Berserker Free and Endless Battle. Oh my goodness, it will do so much damage. It will burst anything you can see. Number 2, skill 1 cooldown has been reduced from 8 seconds to 8 seconds all the way to 5 seconds. Means you can use a lot more often in the late game. When you're hitting that level 11, when you're finishing the leveling up of this skill, you have a 5-second cooldown on skill 1. That means almost every single auto attack is going to be that enhanced auto attack, right? So Endless Battle is going to be the core item because you need mana. I don't know about Clint jungling because right now, if you want to jungle, you have to have Retribution. That's the only way for you to buy jungle item. So you're not going to get buff, but they want to make sure that you have plenty of skill to use. So you really have to have some mana regeneration item. Like I said, Endless Battle is going to be the key item. Physical attack bonus increased from 40% to 60%. Mana cost has been drastically reduced as you level up the skill. So from 130 to 105, level 6. Skill 2, the slow effect increased from 60% to 80%. That's almost like a root. So if you land your skill 2 on somebody, they're going to stay there for a few seconds, right? They're not going to move. Now, give you plenty of time to go away, to run away, or just to reposition yourself. And then the ultimate base damage increased from 250 to 280 and 350 to 380. So a 30-point increase all across the board. And this is going to help you with your early game wave clear, early game burst damage. We still have to test this in real battles, like once Project Next come out. But I can say that Clint is going to be a very, very popular hero, especially with all those skins that he had that you never had opportunity to use. Well, buckle up. You're going to use this hero a lot when it comes out, when the Project Next comes out. And the next hero I want to touch up on is Mia. They also buffed Mia's early game damage. Her overall attributes, the base physical damage, increased from 105 to 115. That's 10 points, a 10% increase. Your ultimate cooldown has also been reduced for about 4 seconds, and the duration has been increased to 2 seconds across the board. So you can be invisible for a little bit longer, and 2 seconds is a long time if you don't know. Like the longest stun in the game, I think, is 2 seconds. If it's not a Selena stun, right? Any other stun, the longest you can get is 2 seconds. So during that time while you're stunned, imagine that duration given to Mia where he had the speed boost and she can just run away. These are the 2 most interesting hero readjustments that I think need to be pointed out, because what I'm about to share with you in the following sentences is going to change your mind. After the Project Next come out, remember, you can only jungle if you have Retribution, right? It doesn't mean like you can't. You just have to do it really slowly, and you're not going to get the boosted experience and gold. So you really have to have Retribution. And Clint and Mia almost never going to get Retribution. They don't have a lot of mobility. Yeah, Mia has the ultimate, Clint have a skill too, but that's not going to be enough. You know, in front of all those assassins who are going to kill you really easily. If imagine an enemy team has a Leo mode, or they have a Ling, right, who dive in at the same time, your Clint or your Mia is just not going to survive with a tiny little bit of mobility. So they got to take Flicker, they got to take Purify. With that being said, they have to go to either one of the silence, right, going top lane or going bottom lane. They might even go middle lane. I think you put a marksman middle lane might be a possible choice if Clint just becomes so OP. But if you put a marksman side lane by himself, it's going to be really, really dangerous, because this is my speculation for the upcoming meta. You're probably going to have 1 person top lane, 1 person mid, and 2 jungling, right? 1 jungle and 1 support who are roaming together, and a solo bottom lane. With that being said, the marksmen are going to go into the winter season, right? They might be one of those heroes people don't pick anymore. If you pick them, they think you're a troll because they're so easily abused in a solo lane. Or maybe the lane, because you get so much more experience or so much more gold, they decided to still put marksman silent. I don't know, because marksman still proved to be really, really strong, especially look at the Clint changes, right? He can be a force to be reckoned with late game. He can burst anyone down. But at the same time, if you put a marksman silent by himself, it's going to be really dangerous. Now, if you put a marksman side lane and you put a support with the marksman, that will leave your top lane and the middle lane by themselves and the jungle by themselves. Enemy team, if they leave the bottom lane alone, they can just invade your jungle really quickly and then move that momentum towards your bottom lane and destroy your marksman and support side lane. So this goes back to my original point. I really think this is going to be a 1-1-1 each lane and a 2 people jungle scenario. This way you have a 3-man presence from jungle to mid lane. They can rotate together, right? And you have 1 side lane each side. This is similar to the current Arena Valor or Honor of King meta. If you're familiar with those, you have been playing those games before. Now, this might change after Project Next eventually decide to change their map. If the map become more different, more protective towards the jungle, where jungler can, jungle by themselves, then we might see a different meta. Because right now, as I said, if the map structure didn't change, the essentials of things, like how structure works, right? The opening of the buff, if they didn't change those things, it's still really easy to invade. And then remember, there are no true jungler in Mobile Legends, right? Like all the assassins farm jungle really slowly early game. Some fighters farm jungle pretty fast. So we might have a fighter jungle meta actually, who are able to rotate fast enough to the side lanes, who are able to clear jungle by themselves. But this is my speculation. We still have to wait for the Project Next to come out. Yes, you might be buffing all these marksmen, trying to make the meta, but then the meta really is not allowing them to show up still in the competitive games. It might be really good though for lower rank, for the majority of the player pool to enjoy those boosts, right? Because you can take this hero out and just destroy noobs with it. That you can do. But in the competitive scene, I doubt it, right? We'll have to see more how this hero perform when it comes to normal server. I can't wait for it. But what can I say, man? This is Moontown's last chance to make a stand before League of Legends Wild Rift really take over the mobile scene, because the game they came out with is just so clean and beautiful and stunning. Do remember to leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about Mobile Legends Project Next, about the future of Mobile Legends. We're going to talk more in the future podcasts and videos about the future of ML, about the future of League of Legends Wild Rift. Do you think I should play League of Legends Wild Rift? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn that bell on. With that, Assassin Dave signing off. Love you guys. We'll see you guys next time. Bye now.
Just for the thrill of it.